Hey everybody, it's Becca. Happy Halloween. No, I don't dress like this every day, although I'm really kind of digging it, so I just might start dressing like this every day. It's the first time I've ever been a cat. Usually every year, pretty much every year I wear devil horns and I say that I'm an angel in disguise. But this year I didn't want to do the same thing, so we went to Walmart at the last minute, got me some little ears, shirt, says I'm with Creepy, and some really cute leggings. I doubt you guys can see them, but they're like trick-or-treat leggings. Hold on. Can you see them? So cute, right? Anyways, I haven't done a vlog in a few days. I've really been missing doing it. So I just thought I would do a quick one today because in the light of it being Halloween and me doing my Halloween makeup, it really inspired me to tell you guys a story time. So this is the first story time, but it's going to be it's a true story. And it's about me. And it's about a haunted house. I realize that most of you will not see this until after Halloween, so I do apologize for not doing this sooner. I've been thinking about it the other day when we did the trunk or treat video. We actually walked by this house that's right down the road from us where we live now, and we used to live there like 5 years ago, I think. I'm not sure. This video isn't to show off my super mad math skills. This video is about the haunted house. We were looking for a place to move to fit more into our budget, and we checked into this house with it being cheaper than where we were originally living. Was a little too expensive for us, and so when we seen the ad for this one, with it being cheaper than where we were living, we just assumed that we were going to have to cut back or, make, what's the word I'm looking for? We just figured we would have to make sacrifices. With it being cheaper, we thought it wouldn't be as good of a house. When we got there, it was awesome. So beautiful, huge backyard, it was like a dream house. I loved it. And it was cheaper, so we got it. We moved in. Right away, a little weird things started happening, but of course, I'm a believer now for sure, and I always wanted to believe because it's fun, but this house for sure made me a believer without a doubt. Little things that happened at first, and I would just think that maybe it was strange, like the ceiling fan. Normally they have like a string for the light and for the fan. We would be in the living room watching a movie, and sometimes like one of the strings would just be swinging, which I thought was odd because if it was from a vent or something, it would probably be swinging both. And there was no vent right around there. It was just weird. And it would be swinging for a long time or slow down and then speed back up. It was just really weird. And it wouldn't be like when the air was on and stuff, but whatever. And so the house already kind of creeped me out. I would think it had wood floors and you can hear when people walk on it. I always thought I heard someone walking up behind me. I thought it was one of the girls because both of the girls were born at this point. I thought it was one of the girls, and I would turn around. Nobody would be there. But, it could just be a coincidence. So one of the first times I really realized something's up with this house. I was cleaning. We hadn't lived there very long. The girls had some ices. I don't know if you're familiar with ices, but they have like a plastic dome lid, and the hole is pretty big. It's like that big, and then the straws in there. I had just thrown some away. They were in the trash. And I'm walking through the kitchen, and I hear like this noise. And I'm like, what is that? And I look down, and in the trash is the icy cup that I just thrown away not that long ago. And here's the hole, okay? The straw is moving like this. I'm not lying to you. I promise I'm not lying to you. I have no reason to. I'm being serious. So I'm sitting there, and I'm standing there, and I'm just looking at it I figured there must be like a water bug or something big down the bottom. It must be moving, making the straw move, because this is just weird. And so I lean over and I look into the cup. There's absolutely nothing in there. And then the straw just kind of a couple more times while I'm sitting there watching, and nothing is making it move. And it just settles at the bottom. like nothing ever happened. So I feel super crazy at this point. I mean, yes, I'm crazy. That has nothing to do with this, though. Like, this is such a true story. Um, like, all of it. And so the fact that I'm crazy has nothing to do with how true this story is. Like, all of these stories. And so that was weird. And I made sure and tell everybody, and everybody at my work that I was crazy. Well, this same day, after I was already creeped out, I'm getting leftovers out of the fridge. And I thought I heard somebody walking up behind me, like normal. I'm like bent down and I'm getting like ravioli stuff out or whatever. And I could have sworn that I know I did. Right behind me, like in my ear, I hear like, hey. Oh my God. I turned around. I dropped the raviolis all over the kitchen floor. I spun around and nothing was there, of course. But it terrified me. Like, seriously, I heard it. I felt like the breath on the back of my head. Like, I knew somebody just had to have been there. Of course, there wasn't. And that was the same day that happened with the straw incident. So at this point, I'm thoroughly freaked out. And so I clean up the mess of the raviolis. Pretty angry at the ghost at this point because it has to be a ghost. There's nothing else it could be. And now it's made me make a huge mess when I was trying to clean. So not very happy with it. So then I'm doing dishes, and all of a sudden, like, the kitchen is just like windows upon windows. And so there's like windows on this side and there's windows on this side. And I'm doing dishes right here at the sink in front of a window. And like all of a sudden, like, it's a huge shadow just like blocked out the sun. Like, it was a bright sunny day like today. And all of a sudden the whole kitchen went dark, only for a few seconds, but still it was so crazy to me because we hadn't lived there long. But like, I've noticed how, you get used to a house, you get used to the shadows that get cast and the light that gets cast from the road, like if birds fly over, the shadows from that. It wasn't that, guys. It wasn't. It was something creepy. It was so creepy. I was literally a grown woman in my own kitchen of my house doing dishes, terrified in the bright sunny daylight in the middle of the day. So that was really weird. So stuff would happen to us constantly. And one time we were going to bed. Me and John were laying there. I was laying next to the wall. And I was almost asleep, and I was like gonna like adjust and get more comfy. And all of a sudden there was like something hit the wall. It sounded like a hand hit the wall and did like this. I thought it was John, but either way, it scared me, like it startled me. So I was like, oh my God, don't do that. You scared me. And of course, he was almost asleep too. And so he's like, don't do what? And I like opened my eyes and I realized that he's like this. And of course, like I said, I'm by the wall that the sound just made that on. And I didn't do it. And now I realize he didn't do it. I was fully freaked out. And it took me probably I don't even know if I slept that night. If I did, it took me forever to fall back to sleep. In that same room, I would keep my belts over this little closet door that we kept open. And stuff would always happen right before we would fall asleep. Like, right before we would fall asleep, all the time we would hear ting, ting. And it would be my belt buckles clanging together. Why, though? I don't know. It wouldn't be, like I said before, it wouldn't be because of the air. We would always try to debunk stuff, trying to make us feel more sane. Like, there has to be a logical explanation why these things are happening. But so we lived there for the 3 months, and finally we got to where we just couldn't take it anymore. We didn't want to feel crazy. People at our work thought we were literally insane because every day we had some new story to tell about something unbelievable that happened at our house. So we were going to move. Even though it was a perfect house, it was a perfect setup. The rent was incredible. No wonder, right? We couldn't take it anymore. So we decided to move. When we started packing our stuff and we had made the decision to move, things got even worse. I can tell myself all day long, it's nothing, it's no big deal, just ignore it, it's in my head, whatever. But when it came to my girls asking me, what is that sound, or what was that, wanting me to give them a logical explanation as to why something unexplainable happened, that's when it started to get to me a little bit. one of the last nights that we lived there, we had a chain lock on the front door. So if John was at work, he would knock to get in. So there was no way he could just be in the house and me not know. I would have to go and unlock the chain and let him in. So that night, the girls wanted something to eat, and as I've already told you about this icy story and about the ravioli story in the kitchen and the shadow. The kitchen is where a lot of stuff would happen. So I really didn't like going in there alone. It's usually when things would happen was when you were alone and you were, either least expecting it, or if you were just sitting there waiting on it, things would happen. Either way, things would happen constantly. So the girls wanted something to eat, a snack, after dinner snack. And so I didn't want to go back in the kitchen alone. So I was like, okay, guys, let's go in the kitchen. Let's make you something to eat. I had just been in the living room packing up a box. And so we all go in the kitchen, and I'm making them something to eat. And I hear in the living room, it sounds just like how it sounded when I was packing the box. It sounds like someone is in there going through that box, trying to unpack it or packing more stuff for me. That would have been great, right? But I hear it, and I think to myself, it's nothing. Like, just ignore it. We'll be out of here soon. Just ignore it. But when the girls asked me, Mommy, I think when the girls asked me, Mommy, is Daddy home? I think Daddy's home. That's when I kind of, like, the pit of my stomach. It just dropped. I was just like, no, Daddy's not home. I didn't let him in. And then they're like, well, then what is that sound in the living room? It sucks when your kids ask you for a logical explanation. They're not trying to say it's ghost. They're not trying to say it's haunted. They just want to know, hey, what is that sound in the living room? When you have no legitimate reason as, like, what could be making that sound? I don't know. Ghosts. Like, you sound crazy, but that there was no other explanation for any of that. I don't know what else to say. When we tried to mention it to the landlord, he would just change the subject. There was, like, a really creepy picture drawn in the bedroom, and, like, they had just remodeled this house, and they had painted the walls and stuff, but they painted, like, around the picture, and then they put the smoke detector through the picture. Like, they literally screwed it through the picture. I asked John to take the picture down when we moved in because it's creepy. It looked like a little kid drew it. It looked like tombstones or something with, like, blood in between. I don't know. It looked creepy. And so I asked him to take the picture down after we moved in. He, like, grabbed one of the dusty thumbtacks, obviously had been there for a while. He grabbed it and he went, like, he was going to take it down, and he got chills. He just got a bad feeling, and he was like, I think that picture is fine right where it is. So we ended up leaving it there the whole 3 months. We didn't take it down. And we did discover that that smoke detector was literally screwed through the picture into the wall. I don't know what's up with that, but it just seemed weird to me. But we actually ended up trying to have the house blessed by a lady that we worked with. Her husband said he could bless it. And I mean, hey, whatever we could do. We really liked the house. We liked the price. We just didn't like being scared every single day. So we were willing to try that. And it calmed down for a little while. And then my cat would finally come in because I had a cat for 11 years. And this house was the only house that he would not come in. I would always feed him inside, and then he would go outside to do his business, whatever. But this house, he would not come in. Literally, I would try to bring him in, like, grab behind his front legs and, like, pull him in, and he wouldn't. How appropriate is it that I'm talking about a cat, and I'm a cat right now? But he wouldn't. He was like, no, not having it. So obviously he knew something was up with that house. I don't know. Now we live right down the street from it, literally right down, like, a few houses down. And when we walked to the trunk or treat the other day, we asked the guy, because the guy that lives there now was sitting on the porch and actually talking on the phone. We kind of rudely interrupted his phone call, but we asked him if it was haunted now. And he seemed really eager to talk to us, so I don't really believe him that he said it wasn't haunted. I just don't believe him. He knew. Yeah, he knew. Somebody had already mentioned to him, because we live in a small town, everybody knows everybody. Somebody had already mentioned to him, hey, I had a couple of friends live there, and they said it was really haunted. Stuff happened every day. He had already heard the stories. And I just think he was trying to be macho and say, oh, no, that's not haunted. But that house is so creepy. Like, honestly, I don't think you could pay me to go in there now because I would be afraid, like, the ghost would follow me home or something. But I just wanted to share it with you guys, and I know that most of you probably aren't going to see this till after Halloween, but I always love a good ghost story and a good spooky story, no matter what time of the year, especially when it's a true story. So I promise you guys, this is all very true. I know it makes me sound crazy. Yes, I'm crazy, but the stories are still true. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had a great, great, happy Halloween. And if you're not already, please subscribe. Bye.